Our last recipient is Julie Olson. She's from District 9. And to help students self-paced instruction, Julie implemented an accelerated mass customized learning program aimed at science course acceleration. Students used a blended learning model to complete 3 years of science into 2. Wow. So come on up and share with us what that's all about.
Thank you and welcome to everybody. I did work with the mass customized learning, but I'm going to actually present maybe a little more on what I actually did with that kind of learning at an alternative school. It was 4 years ago, after teaching 20 years at the high school, teaching advanced science courses, I was asked to start an in-house program at our alternative school with our at-risk students, students that don't like school, let alone science. And, and just, they're behind too. So obviously that concept of customized, accelerated, and they wanted to graduate with their peers. So I took the challenge. A lot of people said, "What are you doing?" And I wouldn't go back. So along with the regular courses, we also have to have course completion, but then again, they don't like school, let alone science, so what are you going to use to hook them and get them to actually want to come to school and to succeed? And so we had a lot of different courses that I designed. We looked at, our goals is that it wasn't just to graduate for them, but we wanted them to have a plan for education after they graduate. That's just not an option not to have a plan. And so, I have anatomy for those students that think, hey, you would be a good nurse or a doctor or dentist. We want them to aspire to higher things. Applied biology, chemistry, forensics. You can find me setting up crime scenes, or I'll put them in the full garb. And I said, okay, one of the crime scenes is the principal's office. So we send them just about everywhere. We have the engineering, just all different kinds. And it could change the next day depending on what I find, that something about a student's background, what they like, what they want to do, and it's like, I think I can do something for you. We also work with the community. I think our students at our alternative school do more community service than the students at the regular high school. And so one of the big projects that we did, there was a big to-do. We had the city council. Our lake, it has a lot of algal growth, and they were basically debating spending literally thousands of dollars to test the water. And I said, my kids can do it. And so we go out at least twice a year. Some of my students even are going out in the summer with Lake Advisory Committee members, and we're building a database. They presented to the City Council. They presented to the Lake Advisory Council. They're an important part of our community, whereas before they didn't feel that. People are coming up to them and talking to them about their work. Introductory engineering, these are just some of the projects, pretty common things, but again, with the water rockets, not only do we build water rockets, we are visiting senior scientists too. I have a group, and if the elementary teachers want us to come and help their students build rockets and launch them, we're there. Again, that community involvement. And I can't tell you how many of those kids I go to and I go, you would be a great teacher, just how they act with those kids and that. So I see a lot of promise. I had a student that was going to go into the military, so I designed a flight science type of mini course for him. We have robotics, so we've had students compete in robotics competitions. These kids who wouldn't even dream of being on a team, they are a team. They're competing against students from all over the state, and they're finding that success. So there's our robotics team competing at Best Robotics as students in Science Olympiad. The one gentleman with the hat on, it was every year. Where's the book? Where's the rules? He didn't care if nobody else wanted to go. He was going to go, and he placed every year. Every year. I had a couple girls, I talked them into doing science fair, and so we were raising butterflies. They took butterflies to the elementary schools, too, to share their knowledge. Our visiting senior scientists, again, we put on Science Saturdays, a couple weekends, Saturdays out of the year, and we have probably 40, 50 kids, and my students are all the teachers. And so it's fun. I actually got tie-dye lab coats for them, too, to wear. So they think they look pretty cool. Science and the arts. I had one student kept trying to break through to him. He had to finish physical science. He was a junior. I knew he really liked art. And so he was doing the simple machines part. And I'm going, hey, do you know who Alexander Calder is? I showed him some pictures of his kinetic mobiles. I actually found a book of Leonardo da Vinci's inventions, and I had him. He made a mobile, I still have it up in my room, of things that were representative of him. And now I have his younger brother. And I go, hey, yeah, that. He goes, yeah, that's my brother's. And now I've got him hooked, too. The girls that did the butterfly, they made a mobile of the different butterfly patterns and painted it from what they had seen. I have a lot of different critters, much to my husband's chagrin. I actually drug him along. I keep most of them at school. But you never know what opportunity it's going to present to you. So, there's always pill bugs. We raise trout in the classroom with the Department of Natural Resources. My students that are involved in the water quality, they have to test the water a couple times a week. They go out and they have to help stock them, and they get to meet the wildlife biologists and the people at the facilities. And so I'm exposing them to these career opportunities for them. We have classroom pets. I have just a nasty parrot that nobody likes except my students. They probably know where he's coming from. So Charlie has lots of friends, but not my family. Yeah. So, it's just having these opportunities again, and just on the fly, like, oh, hey, we can do this, or hey, you want to do a science fair project? Actually, doing the science. I also teach the other end of the spectrum. I have advanced biology, which is a dual credit. And again, bringing those next generation science standards, how scientists think, what they have to know, the engineering, and bringing that into the life sciences is very important to me. I had the opportunity to be involved in the writing of the NGSS. So our one project this year was cyborg cockroaches. So, yeah. But they had to engineer something to test the real cockroaches, cyborg, the robotic cockroaches. So, and it's making them aware of, hey, you're engineering. It's trying to find answers to problems and solutions, and not just taking notes. It's, how do you evaluate things? How do you redesign? And so these are just some of the pictures. We did ethics, really making them think about, you can't just say, yes, I believe in that, or no, it's why. What are you basing it on? What is your evidence? And so we're bringing, my principal even bought me books for that, so. We did the ELISA tests. We talked about AIDS. They also had to talk about if you had to design a public health program to help with AIDS and HIV transmission, what would you do and why? Why doesn't something work with some communities and it does with others? So again, and it's just that constant evolution and taking advantage of those opportunities. So thank you.